Hey there, spooksters, and welcome back to another episode here on Three Spooked Girls. My name is Jessica, and as always, I am joined by my favorite ghoul friend, Tara.
Hey, spooksters.
Today, since it is February, we're going to be talking about Cupid as our cryptid of the month.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's technically a cryptid, but we're going to go down that path because it's our show and I can do what I want.
I mean, he's like a
He's a
mythological
magical
type of creature thing. It's
person.
fine. We're classifying it that way. If you don't like
We are.
that,
I like
keep
that this
to
is
yourself.
setting it up, right? This is setting it up so that I can later on be like, we're going to do other mythological creatures like Greek gods, because I'm obsessed. So, fun times. But before we do that, if you are new here, welcome. If you are watching us on YouTube, hi.
Hello. Also, I have to interrupt you for a second. I put a poll up probably last week asking if they wanted like our audio only episodes here on YouTube, and it was like 100% yes.
Oh, wow.
So I am going to look into that. With us moving to Bloody Disgusting, we also are on a new hosting site. So I just kind of have to see, because I know with YouTube you can like integrate it somehow if it's just the audio version, which I'm not obviously going to do for every episode because some of these will be video, but the ones that are not, yeah, I can upload them. I don't mind. I just wanted to make sure you guys wanted it before I did all the work.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
If you want to hang out with us on social media, you can do so by heading over to Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Our handle is at Three Spooked Girls. We have a great Facebook group. I love it. Like, I love going in and seeing the interactions. I also get really sad sometimes because I'll be like, oh, this would be perfect for the Facebook group. And then I'm like, it's in my feed because it is in the Facebook group. And I'm like, I
beat you to the punch.
Share it. Right. We do book club. We do all our exchanges there. We launch all of our announcements go there first. So definitely check it out. If you want to help support the show, you can do so by heading over to patreon.com/Three Spooked Girls. For little as $1, you get a bonus episode a month. $5 and up, get ad-free episodes a day before. If you are on TikTok, definitely go check out Tara. Her handle is spooky_sleuth. She's been doing some really fun things over there lately. So you should just stop and go check it out and then come back.
I got some book recs going up soon because I'm a huge mood reader for those that don't know, but I try to do like these are my hopefuls for the rest. Like usually towards the end of the month, I'll have a couple. So I have 3 that I'm putting on my list. One I'm like partially reading. I told you about, it was the one I got from Target. And then the other 2 I have not read yet. One is our book club book. And then the other one is a surprise book that I just randomly found on Amazon, Elevated.
Ooh, I love that.
If you want a non-love rec type of book, that one will be it.
I'm going to a little bit talk about a book like series that I'm obsessed with because it kind of like goes into this topic. But yeah, we'll get there. So like I said, today we're going to be talking about Cupid.
I'm excited. I actually don't really know anything besides like what he does. Like I've never looked into him. So I love this.
So he is the Roman god of desire, erotic love, attraction, and affection.
Makes sense.
His name literally translates to passionate desire.
I love that. That's adorable.
Right? Which when I was doing this, I kept thinking of the song Stupid Cupid. And I was like, aw, stupid passionate desire. I'm like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've literally all been there.
You know what I think of when you talk about that song, though?
What?
I think of Princess Diaries when Mandy Moore sings Stupid Cupid at the beach party.
Oh my God. I think that's who I hear singing it in my head.
Literally, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God. And
Lana.
Now I have to watch this movie after we're done.
Oh my God. So you know how just fun fact for you guys. You know how like a couple episodes ago we were talking about the Mandela effect? Tara literally sent me screenshots last night as she's looking for things to watch. She saw the first kid and then Kazam. And I was like, we need to do a
oh my God,
marathon. Because I was like, this is amazing. Because those are both great movies, but they're great. When I say great movies, they're like great 90s kids movies, which are like basically B movies. So
we love that here. We love that here. You know I love B horror, so I mean B family movie, fine.
I really liked when on Patreon, like back on Patreon, we used to do this thing. It was called Jessica Slaughter's Movie Reviews and Plotlines. It was that beaver movie.
Zombievers, guys, Zombievers. If you have never watched that, you need to. You're welcome. Don't watch okay, there's one with another vibe, but I was not into it. It's
Mm.
the Slother House one. It's like a killer
Oh,
sloth at a sorority house type of situation,
but I don't
and
know.
it just I don't know if you guys have seen it and I need to give it another chance, let me know, but I was not into it. I was so sad too because I love Zombieverse and other dumbass
Zombieverse
movies,
is such a good movie,
but not this one.
for
No,
sure.
not for me.
So Cupid is the son of Mercury, who is the winged messenger god, and also Venus, which is the goddess of love. If you track the concept that Roman gods are mirror images to Greek mythology, Cupid would be Eros, who is the son of Hermes and Aphrodite. And I don't know what you think of when you think of Cupid, but I literally, oh, it's the other side. I literally think of, I can't, literally cannot. This
Like
thing
a
is
cutesy
backwards, guys.
little thing.
The thing over my shoulder, over the
Yeah.
shoulder. Yeah. You know, the little boy with the diaper or a well-placed arrow. He's winged, which makes sense if his father is Mercury, who is, you know, the winged god, he would get his wings. And then obviously like love comes from Venus. Generally, he's like, because in American culture, at least, we have a puritanical view of things. He's typically covered, like I said, with a diaper or a sash or a well-placed arrow, but generally depictions of Cupid are Nikki. Little cherub baby. He is said to be winged because lovers are flighty and change their minds often. So he has to like chase them down. And also, he is depicted as a boy or boyish because love is considered irrational.
Oh,
So
okay.
just
This
like
was
a
a
huge
love-hate who made Cupid. Interesting.
oh my god, I love this so much that they're like, he has wings because lovers just don't get it and they run away from each other. And then he's a baby because lovers are dumb and they're childish. And I was like, oh, that's so great. Roman mythology, also great.
Wow. Y'all are
Yeah,
so nice.
yeah. Roman mythology. Because in like Greek
God.
mythology, Eros is described as a young man. He's like probably like 20 something and he's winged and he's naked and he's very like toned, if you get my drift. Wink, wink.
Mhm.
Like all Greek men were
Yeah.
apparently. Here's the thing, like, you know how today in today's world, like we have like magazines and women are like super airbrushed and like, you know, don't look like themselves. I often wonder if like in Greek mythology, if this was like the same way, like they would just like sculpt these gods to look like that. And then just like the average Joe
They
was
look
just
like
like,
normal.
fuck those
They had
dudes.
dad bods.
Right? They had dad bods. They were like, fuck Eros and his chiseled abs. Okay. So his symbols are either an arrow or a torch because love wounds and inflames the heart.
I told you, love hater. Can't convince me otherwise.
I don't know if he's a love hater. I think he's more like,
No, 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 no. The person, like, making
oh,
up
who
these,
wrote
like,
this?
guidelines.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
also just wanna know, like, who was in a room. I need to research this part. Maybe I'll do an episode on, like, the history of, like, Greek mythology and Roman mythology. Because basically Greek mythology
Yes.
came first, and then Roman mythology was like, "Ha ha, we'll just do it better, or we'll give them different names." But I always wanna know who was, like, sitting in a room one day and was like, "You know, we should have this one all-powerful god named Zeus, who's very spiteful and commits a lot of SA. We should also have all these other gods, like Dionysus, who's the god of wine, who, fun
I
fact,
mean, I'm here
can't
for
get
that.
drunk."
Oh, that sucks.
Right? Don't fucking piss off Zeus. He gets real mad. Sometimes Cupid is depicted with a blindfold or described as blind. This has kind of been depicted in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's a passage that says, "Love looks not with eyes, but with the mind, and therefore winged Cupid painted blind, nor hath love's mind of any judgment's taste, wings and no eyes, figures unheedy haste. And therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is oft beguiled." So
I don't know what any of that meant, but
it
okay.
basically means that love is blind. It's like where that comes from. Like, you love the show Love is Blind.
I do.
It comes from this, Tara.
Oh my god. You know, I'm sorry I'm interrupting so much today.
I think at this point people love our banter. So.
This is true. I was, like, thinking earlier, I was like, "Man, I want to do, like, a pop culture or reality TV show or, like, a segment on this channel," and I'm just like, "But bitch, when are you gonna have time?" I'm
Yeah.
not. See, guys, I have all these ideas and
We could always just add it in. We
yeah.
could just do like a freebie episode every once in a while where we're just like, we're going to talk about things that don't make any sense to the podcast.
Maybe, maybe. We could do it on
I like it.
Patreon. We should ask
True.
patrons. I don't know. We'll figure it out. If that's even a need or a want, please encourage my Delulu ass and I'll do it.
Also, here's a really Cholulu. It just kind of goes perfectly into the next thing is he doesn't call them like the people that he shoots with his arrows. They're called his victims. And basically, he carries his bow and his quiver of arrows and he uses them to wound, which is to inspire love or passion to his said victims. He has two kinds of arrows or darts or whatever you want to call them. One has a sharp golden point, and the other one has a blunt tip made of lead. If the person who is wounded with a golden arrow falls desperately and uncontrollably in love with somebody, but if you are hit and you're struck by, I don't know if you're like actually like penetrated, because one definitely says wounded and the other one definitely says struck, you want to get the fuck away from them. Which I think this is like how the like Greek and Romans were like, oh, this is how they dealt with unrequited love, is that Cupid must have shot one person with the golden arrow and the other person with the lead arrow, and that's why they don't love them back. There is a Latin poet, I think the book is called Metamorphosis. It's a story of Apollo who is like, Cupid, you're not as good as an archer as I am. And Cupid was like, fucking bet, shoots him with a golden arrow. And then the girl that Apollo is crushing on, he shoots her with a lead arrow. So it's like, don't fucking piss off Cupid, because Cupid will fuck with your love life.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Sometimes Cupid is depicted wearing armor, like Mars, who is the god of war, because it is supposed to suggest that there is a like parallel between like warfare and romance. Sometimes he is portrayed as a callous, careless being who doesn't really give a fuck what he does. And I kind of like vibe with this. Like, if your whole life was to like make people fall in love,
You'd
I'd fuck
probably
with
be a
you.
little jaded. Yeah, probably
Be
be a
like,
little
this
jaded.
sucks. Right? So he sometimes makes mischievous matchmakings. It makes people mad. So it's like in today's world, it's like when we're like, why are they together? Cupid was just like, this will be
Stupid.
funny. Fucking watch.
Yup. I love this vibe. I love this vibe.
In a lot of the stories, Cupid's mother, Venus, is the goddess of love. So she actually will be like, go matchmake people. But there is a story. I'm going to tell the Greek version of it. There is the Roman, but I couldn't find the girl's name in the Roman. And it might just be the same one. But basically, Aphrodite, who would be Eros's mom, was super jealous of a beautiful woman by the name of Psyche. She basically told her son, I want you to go shoot her with a golden arrow and match her with a monster so that bad things would happen to her. I'm
Ooh.
presuming death would happen to her. But instead, Cupid or Eros becomes so enamored with her that he marries her to save her life from his mother. In this story, he would marry her and save her life, but there was one condition to this, which was that she could never look at his face. Over time, she was like all stories in Greek and Roman mythology. Psyche got really curious and stole a glance, and Cupid ran away angry. She would search high and low for him, and eventually he got over it and they got together and he made her an immortal. If you like reading smut books and you like Katie Robert, I would suggest reading The Electric Idol. This is their story retold. And it's
Ooh.
basically Psyche becomes the daughter of Demeter, who is the goddess of harvest. And Aphrodite is jealous of her because Psyche is an influencer and people like her more than Aphrodite. And also the fact that Demeter is trying to literally marry off all of her daughters to Zeus. Aphrodite is the god, or in the book they call the 13, who arranges matchmakings. And because Demeter went outside of that, and Eros is like, I actually really like her. She's really nice. And then he sees her and they fall in love and they get married. And then I'm not going to spoil the rest of the book.
Okay, question.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to read the other ones before that to read that one?
Technically, no. So like,
okay,
it's basically like they're not this one. This one you could read because there's only one book before this, which is Neon God.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Which,
I don't mind one book ahead. I was like, oh God, is there like 4?
no. So this is the second in her series. So it's Neon God is ahead of this one, which is the Hades and Persephone story. And then this is the second one. And then in the third one, it's, I think, the Ares story. Okay, I really love her books, and I especially love the Dark Olympus ones. I actually follow her Patreon, so I can get other stories as well
All
that
the
have to do
goodies.
this.
Yeah.
But if you like Greek mythology and you love smut books, check out her Dark Olympic series
Yeah, I
because
keep looking at it at the store, and then I'm just like,
I should just, like I should just literally
just make me a
Amazon you
list.
the book and be like, "Read
Be like, "You're
this."
reading this."
I will say it always this is the thing, I fucking love this series, but it always takes like, Tara knows this 'cause I'll complain about it. It takes me like a week to get into the book, and then I, like, read it in
Mhm,
a day. But, like, the more you get into the series, like, later on, the more
mhm.
you actually, like, need to have read the other books because they start to, like, overlap.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely read Neon Gods first then, and then get going
Yes.
because 'cause I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love this. I need that."
The only real big reference is that, like, in Neon Gods, Hades is, like, this, like, mythological figure until he comes out of the woodworks, and
Mhm.
he and Persephone are together, and in
Yeah.
this one, Hades is just there. But yeah, Cupid has been around, he's been in art, he became part of Valentine's Day because of his cherub-like look and the love connection, and I think that, like, we don't know like, I didn't know the story of Cupid, like, the starting of it, that the fact I didn't even know he was part of Greek or, like, Roman mythology whatsoever,
Yeah.
and I just thought he was something that had been invented
Like
along the
Hallmark
way.
made up.
Yeah. It's like, look at this little angel baby." I can't, my hands sorry, guys. Like, "Look at the little angel baby, so cute." But just so that you guys know, if you want us to do because we've kind of done a lot of cryptids, but if you want us to go into mythology, because we do talk about like cults and stuff on here, which
Mhm.
has a religious element to it, and a Greek and Roman mythology is connected to a religion. If you would like us to talk about it, let us know. Go to the
Yeah, that'd be
Facebook
fun
group.
to
Maybe
sprinkle
we'll do
in.
a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with Greek mythology, and Tara's daughter Bug is also obsessed with Greek mythology. She reads
Mhm.
the Percy Jackson series, which I started
Mhm.
watching on
Oh,
Amazon
the
or no,
show's
on
so
Disney
good.
Plus,
The
right?
show's
But
so
I'm
good.
super pissed that I have to wait like
We gotta wait like 2
2
years.
years. I was
Something
like,
crazy.
"Why?"
I
Was it
mean, I wonder if they were, like, kinda hesitant to go ahead and be like, "Okay, cool, we're gonna just green light the 2nd season," because or just
Mhm.
planning that out because, the movies in the previous series kinda, like, underperformed, I believe. But I fully believe it's only because it had nothing to do with, like, the cast or anything, it's fully because of, like, the time frame it came out, you know?
Mhm.
I
I
really think
honest
that's why.
and if I remember correctly, I think they waited too long to have a second movie because
Yeah,
I
I think it
feel
was a
like
few
they did the
years.
first one and everyone was like, "Hell yeah," and then the second
Mhm.
one, the kids had, like, grown up and in the Percy Jackson, like, series, they're real young, which is, like, according to Bug, I was incorrect. They are not actually, like, grown-up teenagers. They're, like, 16-year-olds. She definitely was like, "No, they're, like, kids. They're, like, in 7th grade," and I was like, you would know, you've read all of the books multiple times, so I defer to
Yes.
you as
Mhm, she's
as
obsessed,
the
it's her
yeah.
favorite.
So, yeah, if you that's something you guys want us to do, or if you want me to talk more about the Percy Jackson series on the show, I'll do that too, because
I've
I
been
don't know.
actually meaning like, since we own them and have them on Kindle, I thought about reading them just, like, for fun because 'cause I've never read them.
I
I don't
haven't
know why.
either.
I just never
Well,
have.
I think they came out, like, after we were, like, adults, which is not to say that I didn't read Twilight as an adult, but
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because
yeah.
like, the timeline with that, like, we were the right demographic for Twilight and all that,
Oh,
so
for sure. Well, that's going to go ahead and wrap up this week's Monday episode. If you enjoy it, please let us know. And please let us know where you're watching. If you're watching it on YouTube, leave us a comment telling us you're watching it there. Please join the Facebook group, and we will see you guys in the next episode. Toodles.
Bye.